guys, so I know that a lot of the times I tend to use ingredients from the Asian grocery store or something from like the vegan market that I'm sure that you guys are dying to try or that you would want to know more of. So I'm going to start kind of like a little series where I try out these different things. Probably mainly they're going to be Asian ingredients, but I'm open to trying anything. So if you guys have any suggestions, things that you're curious about, definitely comment down below and I will try my best to get the product and then to try it out. So today we're going to be trying Konjac jelly or Konnyaku, and it's basically made from water and this potato that is usually grown in Asia and Southeast Asia. So interestingly, but unfortunately, Konjac jelly was used to make a lot of candies in the past, and there were a couple of instances of it actually being a choking hazard because the jelly is actually so strong that it is best that you chew it a lot, and but I guess it became a choking hazard for a lot of kids and then also the elderly as well. So I'm going to take special caution and have really small pieces of this. So how I found out about Konjac jelly was I follow a lot of bloggers and Instagrammers. I realized that a lot of people in Asia use Konjac jelly as a substitute for seafoods. So a lot of like vegan shrimp products, vegan shark fin soup, vegan fish are actually made from Konjac jelly because the texture is super similar. I've also seen braised pork that they do in Asia in like vegetarian restaurants made from Konjac jelly as well. And it seems to be a pretty versatile product just because it is a starch. You can put a little bit in or a lot in to kind of play around with the texture. And of course, anytime you're looking for like maybe like a fatty piece of meat or even kind of that flexible texture of raw fish. So they'll use this in a lot of vegetarian sushi preparation. So today I've cut up a couple pieces. They usually come in bags like these. I just kind of took them off. And this not only has the konjac powder and then also water, but it also contains seaweed powder. So I didn't realize that when I was buying it. So when I first opened it, this thing really, not in a bad way, but it smelled very much of shrimp or like a seafood product, which is actually pretty good if you're trying to find a replacement for shrimp or a replacement for seafood. So I just wasn't really prepping for that smell. It's not a bad smell. I just wasn't prepping for it. So I cut up a couple of slices, and I think for the most part, this thing is pretty, it feels like a firm gel, and there's little flecks of kelp throughout. The smell is, it is definitely of the sea, and yeah, it might be a little bit weird because it isn't fish. I'm going to just take a small bite out of this because I want to make sure that I don't choke on it, so. So it's weird because they didn't salt it either. I mean, I think there's a tad bit of salt to it, but it's a little bit jelly-ish, a little bit rubbery, but there's also like a firm sponge texture. And then the more you bite and the more that you kind of digest it a little bit, the kind of the more jelly tasting, kind of the more like rubbery, hard jelly tasting it gets. I don't think I'm doing a good job because this is my first time tasting this and it's very, very unique. I have tried a vegan shrimp product before, and the texture of this biting into it reminds me a lot of this. Digesting it going down, I definitely think that this should be chopped up. I think maybe I'm a little bit worried right now because of the choking hazard, but yeah, like you do have to chew it a fair amount. So I don't really know how to use this at all. I hope to be looking up some recipes on, just how to marinate it, how to get it to the place that I want, and maybe even buying some of this konjac powder, some of this potato powder, and probably making something myself. So it'll be very much like a seitan where, I buy like wheat gluten and make something like that and play around with the texture and flavor, and definitely have a look up at it because if you're vegan, like I'm always looking for cool new products to try, and this guy seems to be pretty popular in Asia as a fish substitute, especially with like raw sushi and whatnot. So definitely a lot of possibility here. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys again next time. Bye!